I visited every Five Nights at Freddy's Movie 2 filming location during the filming of the movie, as well as some of the spots from the first film. And this is how that trip went.
Pretty good?
Dude, this is crazy. We're here in the beautiful city of New Orleans to have a chance at seeing the FNAF Movie pizzerias before they end up wrapping filming. But we only have 3 days, so we gotta make the most of our time. So we made our way to the first spot to check out Sparky's Diner.
There it is, dude. Dude, that's crazy to see in person. Alright guys, we are here. We're about to walk up to Sparky's Diner. It's right around the corner, so just follow me. Alright, it is right here, dude. It's actually crazy to see in person. So this, dude, look, they still have the chairs and everything. Wait, this is so sick. Yeah, get a close-up of that. Yes, sir. Alright, so here is Sparky's Diner. As you can see, the tables are intact. Matt Pat was actually inside here. If you come closer, Matt Pat was standing right at this table, right here.
Some people say that, but you know, it's just a theory.
It's actually pretty crazy to think about. So he was here. Everyone else was sitting here. I think Doug was sitting there. So it is kind of crazy to see. It's not really looking like anyone's been here for a while, so, but it's pretty cool. If you want to get a shot of the sign, they actually removed the Sparky's Diner part on the sign, so that's interesting to me. I guess it's not a permanent thing, but you know, there it is. It's pretty cool. And yeah, dude,
we decided that was enough of the spot, but of course I couldn't leave without getting myself a souvenir.
All right, one of the bulbs fell off of the sign, so I'm gonna take it as a souvenir. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Sparky's Diner, let's go.
Back on the road again, our clock was ticking, so we headed over to the next spot, which just so happened to be our first location from the upcoming second movie.
And that was thanks to a leak of someone making a video where the sign actually said Eastlake Middle School instead of Andrew Jackson Middle School. But this place is actually called Andrew Jackson Middle School, and the Eastlake Middle School sign was the version of the sign they made for the movie specific. And a sign for a science fair was actually put up right behind me. And after that, casting was actually leaked for the science fair judges. And I'm theorizing that this is actually for Abby's new school.
But we didn't end up staying long, as we weren't able to go any further than the front gate, so we ended up just going to the next place, which just so happened to be the hospital location from the first film.
Now this shot is where Mike and Abby actually went to go visit Vanessa in this hospital right here, but we didn't see much of it as it was a pretty short clip. Now what's interesting about this is that it's a completely different name than in the actual movie, so it's kind of weird why they did that. I don't know.
And again, there wasn't a lot going on here, so I decided to get a few shots of the exterior area before heading towards our next destination, which this time might actually be a place that will be featured in the movie.
And we're here. Oh boy. So right behind me is actually a spot they're filming for Five Nights at Freddy's Movie 2, and filming was actually spotted back in October of 2024, where they saw William Afton's car from the first movie parked right over there down that road. And the person who leaked the scene saw 2 sons and a father camping right behind me, somewhere over here. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
As we pressed on down the streets of New Orleans, we began to run out of daylight as we approached each location one after another. With our first day of the trip getting slowly closer to ending, we headed on over to our final destination of the day, which was a pretty unique scene in the film.
So right here is where Mike and Vanessa were talking by the river. This is the river right here. They actually sat right there, but pretty interesting. This was actually the furthest point of filming from all the other spots we went to. This was like 20 or so minutes out, so it was a pretty interesting direction from the directors. All right, so this was the side that Mike was sitting at, and then Vanessa was right here, and then she like stood up and threw his pills in that water. Honestly, the water looks a little low compared to previously, but I don't know. You know, I gotta throw something in the river. I'll throw this. Like, just like that.
Now what's funny is we didn't realize this until after the fact, but we actually missed the exact spot by just 1 pipe, with the actual spot being just around 500 feet from where we were. So we ended up calling it a night and heading back to the place I booked us to sleep at for the night.
There's the front door, the bathroom, the living room, a little island, kitchen, wine on display over there. There's a game room up here.
With the second day of our trip on our hand, we set out to our first spot in the morning being, well, after our quick breakfast, while leaving the McDonald's, I noticed signs with MB on them, which I remembered was the abbreviation for Music Box, the code name of the movie.
Alright guys, behind me is where they're filming the interior scenes for the FNAF Movie 2. There it is right there. the MB. Pretty cool, pretty neat. There's the MB right there, in the center.
But the next spot we were headed to happened to be one of our biggest gambles yet, and that's because I wasn't even sure if it was an actual location that was filmed for a scene in the second movie, as the only proof of it having a chance of being featured in the film is thanks to this photo of Josh Hutcherson, who was spotted just outside taking a picture with a fan. But we were gonna take our chances either way.
So this spot's a little different. Many people are theorizing that this is the new job that Mike will be working at the start of the movie, as we got photos from fans who spotted them in front of it, and it looked like they were filming for the movie. Alright, we're walking in right now. This is the store. Here's the inside in case anyone was wondering. They didn't show it in the movie. Yeah, this is where Mike supposedly works at. The FNAF Freddy's movie 2, right inside the Dollar General. There's an emergency exit. I don't know if they did anything with that for the movie or what. Probably didn't do a lot here. Probably only outside shops.
After checking out the potential Dollar General scene, I decided it would be best to head towards the school location, where some scenes of Abby and Mike were taken in the first movie, as it's towards the same direction as our upcoming filming location. But little did I know that this spot would come to have its own issues.
Alright, we're now pulling up to Abby's school from the first movie. However, they're filming new scenes at the second school, so we might pull up to that later. Alright guys, I'm here in front of the location of Abby's school. Now, the issue is, it's kind of locked, so I really can't get in. So, you know, not much I can do about that, but, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. See, I'm trying to get there. That's the spot that's closed off, so. Alright, so this is where Mike and Abby were. Right where that white is. It's a little hard to see, but right there, that's where they were at. So, can't get in. It's closed off, but it's pretty cool.
After that disappointing attempt at getting closer camera angles, we began driving back into town towards a lot more of a smaller location that didn't have a lot of screen time, but was pretty memorable with a funny scene being attached to it.
You know what works for me? A warm glass of milk with chamomile and honey. I tell you, what an asshole.
Alright guys, we are in front of the pharmacy that Mike got his sleeping pills from in the first movie. However, they're currently closed, so we can't really go in, but it is right here. It's a drugstore. So yeah, pretty cool. You can see those windows that were in the scene from when he's standing at the counter. You can actually see these windows in the back. So it's pretty cool. And yeah.
We ended up coming back later when they opened up shop, but I wasn't sure if I was able to record or not.
Alright guys, here's the store. Pulling in right now.
So I kept the camera low and entered into the building, attempting to catch a glimpse of anything I could to compare the scenes with my footage. However, I asked the worker at the front desk if I could take a few shots before I was abruptly declined, so I disappointingly headed out the door, but not before getting a few sneak shots of the interior. Well, after our quick little stop at the place, it was finally time to head on over to what we came here for, because after years of uploading and covering information for the movie, it was finally my turn to visit the FNAF Movie Pizzeria set in person. And as we drove towards the location, my heart was pounding out of my chest, finally getting to see it in person for myself. I got out of the car and stood there in awe at the facade that I spent countless hours speaking and updating people about over the last few months of the production phase.
Okay, we're here in front of the FNAF Freddy's Movie 2 Pizzeria. Dude, I'm walking up to it right now. Oh my gosh, we're actually here. Dude, this is crazy to see in person. Oh my gosh. Dude, it's actually here in front of me. Oh my gosh, okay. Dude, it looks so good in person. Dude, what? Holy crap. You guys can't really tell by the way I'm like reacting, but if you saw it in person for yourself, dude, this is crazy. Alright, we're here in front of the FNAF Freddy's Movie 2 Pizzeria. It's right over there. There's the first pizzeria, which is on my left. So it's on my right. So
Yeah, so it turns out the security guards aren't really big fans of people taking pictures. But that wasn't gonna stop us from achieving our goals. So I quickly got out my phone and downloaded a game you may recognize, because I was going to beat FNAF 2 in front of the FNAF 2 Pizzeria.
alright, I think I'm the first person in the world to actually be doing this, so that's pretty crazy. Okay, we're in the game. Okay. So we got... I've actually never played mobile FNAF, dude. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, so we tap here for the flashlight, okay. Okay, cameras, we put the cameras like that. They're right there, the animatronics. They're here. They're right behind me. They're gonna be there.
there in real life at the same time. That's actually crazy. I see them in the game and I see them in real life. That's pretty nuts, if you ask me. Alright, music box, wind it up. Okay, they're chilling. It's only night 1, so we're pretty good. They're not gonna attack me yet. Dude, imagine they come through my hallway and then right behind me they're just right there. Dude, that'd be crazy. And no one's moving. The puppet's still in the box. I'm winding the box. It's only night 1. It's pretty easy. Okay, where's Mangle though? Mangle! Okay, Mangle's there. Everyone is in their place. We're fine. Okay, the Wizards. I don't know if the Wizards are gonna be outside the pizzeria. It's possible. I mean, I don't see them doing that in the movie, but alright, it's 2 a.m. I'm checking their spots. They're still. Oh wait! I think someone moved. Actually, I think Chica's still there. Okay, Chica's there. Okay, it's about to turn 3 a.m. We're gonna make it. Chica there? Okay, Chica's there. It is only 9-1. Okay, I need to chill. Okay, Bonnie moved. He moved, man. He's moving. He's freaking moving. He's on the run. Where'd he go? Oh, he's hi there, Bonnie. He's right here, dude. He is right here. Okay, I'm winding. Still there. Chica moved. They're all moving, dude. They're all moving. Hi there, Bonnie. Okay, we should be good. It's almost 4 a.m. We're about to win the night. No, my flashlight. Dude, my flashlight's low. Oh gosh, I forgot. He's in the hallway. No, the music's playing. They're coming. Shoot. Who's out? Dude, I'm dead. I'm gonna run out of flashlight. It's only 4 a.m. You gotta be kidding. It's night 1. I thought night 1's never usually that bad in any of the games. The classic words of Markiplier.
Okay, so the first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through.
They're all gone. Freddy's gone. This is night 1. Is mobile FNAF 2 like this? Or am I just dumb? I don't know what's going on, dude. I'm gonna wind the box though. Oh gosh. Okay. Someone's in the hole. Someone's in the vents. It's so hard to see. Dude. It's about to turn 5. Okay, wind the box. Dude, they're coming. Dude, they're gonna attack. Oh, Bonnie's here. Dude. Is he behind me? Is he behind me in real life? Yeah. No, he's out there. Alright, 5 a.m. We got 1 more hour. Toy Chica got me.
So we decided that would be enough for the day and headed back to rest for tomorrow, where we ended up going to our final spot of the trip before heading back to the pizzerias later that same day for a special mission. But first, we were off to the mall where Mike was first working at during the start of the movie.
Alright, we're now driving up to the mall where Mike worked his first job at the beginning of the first movie. So I think the entrance is right here to our right, but we gotta go park. So be there in a minute.
As I entered the mall, I wanted to check out which entrance hall Mike ran down in the opening scene to find out the location of the water fountain which Mike tackled that kid's dad.
If we come this way further down, we can see the fountain that he jumped into. And right here is where Mike jumped that random kid's dad and just pushed him into the water. It was pretty funny, to be honest. But yeah, pretty cool. And that's what actually caused him to get fired and hired at Freddy Fazbear's in the first place. So,
Cool spot.
alright. So something interesting to note is that the food court's down that way, but they recorded over here. And this is where Mike ran down. And he went there. So I don't know why they decided to just make him run down this way from there. But yeah, pretty interesting.
After trying to deduce exactly why they had Mike run from a separate hallway in which he came from the food court in the movie, we ended up heading to the food court where we found the exact ice cream shop they used in the film, as well as the seat that Mike sat at in the beginning of the movie.
Right here was the exact table that Mike was sitting at. I think this exact seat was where he was, but I'm not sure. And this place right here is the place where the ice cream shop with the Chica's Magic Rainbow from FNAF World was featured. Mike also ended up ordering his food right there. Pretty cool.
The FNAF 2 animatronics are not actually possessed, but instead have AI programming that allows them to walk around during the night.
Are these people for real?
Some people think so. I guess it just depends on what you believe.
In the fall of 2014, I used to think the robots weren't possessed, but that was until MatPat's new theory came out a week later.
Sometimes I wish I could go back and tell my younger self the truth sooner. Can I keep it?
No.
After checking out the entire mall for a few hours, it was our time to head back to the set for a special visit to the pizzeria, because I was getting hungry, and what better way to quench our hunger than to grab a quick slice of Freddy Fazbear's pizza.
We just got out of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza right behind me, and we're about to review the pizza. So here it is right here. This is the box. So we're gonna open it up. We got a nice cheese pizza. Nice cheese pizza right here. I'm gonna take a bite. Pretty fresh, pretty good. I'd rate it a solid 10 out of 10. That's it. That's 10 out of 10 in my book. Yep. Peace out. Here's the pizzerias. I'm grabbing a souvenir from this rock. Yeah, this one. This rock right here. It's gonna be that souvenir.
As soon as we wrapped up our review, the sun began to set. As we went back to the place we were staying at, I got lost track of time, as I wanted to get one last special shot of the pizzeria, so we quickly headed to the car where we only had minutes of sunlight remaining. And as we sped down the road, my heart was racing as I guided us towards the backside of the pizzeria, which would allow me to sneak through the wooded area, because I was going to attempt to sneak into the pizzeria for a special shot in front of it.
Alright, this is it. I'm running to the spot. I'm losing daylight, as you can see. Losing daylight, losing daylight. Yeah, we got this. There's a downed wire right here. Let's see if I can get over it. There we go. Getting really close. I can almost see it. It should be right behind this, I think. I don't know, man. Oh wait. That's it right there. That's it right there. If I could just get a little closer. There it is. I'm gonna take this as a souvenir. Alright guys, I'm out here behind the pizzeria. It's right there. Can't get any closer, but that's pretty cool. Crap. Walking back from the pizzeria. Sunset. I'm out here in the wilderness, stretching through sticks. Using so much energy. But yeah. Just got back from the pizzeria. I just ran through all these woods to get to the back to get a cool shot. But that was pretty cool. Man, I'm tired.
Sometimes you may want something really bad, but that doesn't mean you'll always achieve whatever it is you desire. And that's exactly what I felt, as I felt dejected leaving the pizzeria, unable to get the close-up camera shot for you guys.
Don't do it. Now, future self, you're probably looking back at this like, what did you just do? But you gotta understand, it's too hard. Like, the security was pulled to the right. Security was in the right, and there was no chance me to do anything. So yeah, it's pretty much it. Yeah. Alright, this is my final video of the pizzerias until I leave.
Stop to Delaron Drive.
This is it. know, I really hope FNAF 2 is good, or even better than the first one.
Yeah, me too.